There are two types of fat in your body. One is annoying, the other is actively trying to kill you. This is subcutaneous fat, the stuff you can pinch. It sits just under your skin. It's visible. It jiggles. It's what most people think of when they think of fat. But this is visceral fat, and you can't see it. You can't pinch it. It's hidden deep inside your abdomen, wrapped around your liver, your pancreas, your intestines, your heart. And it's not just sitting there. It's releasing inflammatory chemicals into your bloodstream. It's disrupting your hormones. It's increasing your risk of heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and dementia by 300 to 500%. Two people can weigh exactly the same. One lives to 90, the other dies at 55. The difference? The amount of visceral fat they're carrying. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you the story of how I discovered I was dying from the inside and the exact protocol that saved my life. Because what works for visceral fat is completely different from what works for regular fat. 3 years ago, I walked into my doctor's office for a routine physical. I felt fine. I looked fine. I weighed 185 pounds at 6 feet tall, BMI of 25, barely overweight. I thought I was healthy. My doctor ordered a DEXA scan, a detailed body composition analysis. I wasn't worried. Sure, I had a little belly, but I was in my 40s. That's just what happens, right? The results came back. My doctor's face changed. He pulled up the scan on his screen and pointed to a dark mass wrapped around my organs. "You have 3.2 liters of visceral fat," he said. "That's in the high-risk category. Your organs are basically swimming in inflammatory tissue." I was confused. I didn't look that fat. I could still see my feet. But he explained something that changed everything. You can have a normal weight and still be metabolically obese. It's called TOFI, thin outside, fat inside. Your subcutaneous fat, the stuff under your skin, is actually protective in moderate amounts. But visceral fat is metabolically active in the worst way. It secretes hormones that increase insulin resistance. It releases inflammatory cytokines that damage your blood vessels. It's literally poisoning you from the inside. He showed me my labs. My fasting insulin was 18, should be under 5. My triglycerides were 220, should be under 100. My liver enzymes were elevated. I had fatty liver disease and didn't even know it. "If you don't deal with this now," he said, "you're looking at diabetes in 5 years, heart disease in 10, maybe less." I was 42 years old, and I was dying from the inside out. Here's what I learned. Visceral fat isn't just deep belly fat, it's metabolically different from the fat everywhere else on your body. Subcutaneous fat is relatively inert. It stores energy. It provides insulation. It's annoying, but it's not dangerous. Visceral fat is an active endocrine organ. It produces hormones, bad hormones. It releases resistin, which makes you insulin resistant. It produces inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, which create chronic inflammation throughout your body. And here's the cruel part. Visceral fat feeds itself. It releases chemicals that make you crave sugar and refined carbs. Then when you eat those foods, your insulin spikes, and insulin directly tells your body to store more visceral fat. It's a vicious cycle. But there's good news. Visceral fat is also the first fat to go when you do things right. It's more metabolically active, which means it responds faster to dietary and lifestyle changes. Studies show that visceral fat can decrease by 10 to 15% in just 4 weeks with the right approach. That subcutaneous fat on your thighs, that's stubborn. It'll take months. But the dangerous fat around your organs, that can drop fast. The key is understanding that visceral fat responds to specific triggers that regular fat doesn't care about. So I created a protocol, not based on generic weight loss advice, but specifically targeting visceral fat. Here's exactly what I did. Step 1. Cut the insulin spikes. Visceral fat thrives on insulin. Every time your blood sugar spikes, insulin rushes in and tells your body to store fat, preferentially around your organs. I eliminated sugar completely, not reduced, eliminated. No fruit juice, no desserts, no healthy granola. I cut out refined carbs, bread, pasta, rice, potatoes. I ate protein and vegetables at every meal. Protein doesn't spike insulin. Fiber from vegetables slows down any blood sugar rise. My typical meal? Grilled chicken, broccoli, olive oil. Boring? Yes. Effective? Incredibly. Within 2 weeks, my fasting blood sugar dropped from 102 to 87. My energy stabilized, and I stopped craving sugar entirely. Step 2. Time-restricted eating. I didn't count calories. Instead, I compressed my eating window to 8 hours a day, noon to 8 p.m. For 16 hours, my body wasn't producing insulin, and without insulin, my body could access and burn visceral fat. The first 3 days were hard. I was used to breakfast, but by day 4, I felt amazing. Mental clarity, steady energy, no afternoon crash. Studies show that 16-8 intermittent fasting specifically reduces visceral fat while preserving muscle mass. After 8 weeks, people lose an average of 7% of their visceral fat with this approach alone. Step 3. High-intensity interval training. I didn't do long, slow cardio. That's fine for general health, but it doesn't specifically target visceral fat. Instead, I did HIIT, short bursts of maximum effort. 3 times a week, 20 minutes per session. Sprint for 30 seconds, walk for 90 seconds. Repeat 8 times. That's it. HIIT creates a hormonal environment that's hostile to visceral fat. It spikes growth hormone, which mobilizes fat from your organs. It improves insulin sensitivity dramatically. After my HIIT sessions, my body was burning fat for hours, not during the workout, after. That's called the afterburn effect, and it specifically targets visceral fat. Step 4. Manage cortisol. Cortisol, stress hormone, directly increases visceral fat storage. High cortisol literally tells your body to store fat around your organs as a stress response. I started walking 30 minutes every day, not for exercise, for stress reduction. Just walking, no phone, no music, just thinking. I also implemented 10 minutes of deep breathing before bed, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. This physiologically lowers cortisol. Within a month, I was sleeping better. My resting heart rate dropped from 72 to 58. These are markers of reduced stress. Step 5. Strength training. I lifted weights twice a week, not to burn calories during the workout, but to build muscle. Muscle is metabolically active tissue. The more muscle you have, the more efficiently your body burns visceral fat. I focused on compound movements, squats, deadlifts, push-ups, big muscle groups, heavy weights, low reps. Muscle tissue is insulin sensitive. When you have more muscle, your body needs less insulin to manage blood sugar. Less insulin means less visceral fat storage. After 12 weeks of this protocol, I went back for another DEXA scan. My visceral fat had dropped from 3.2 liters to 1.4 liters, a 56% reduction in 3 months. My fasting insulin went from 18 to 6, my triglycerides from 220 to 95. My liver enzymes normalized. My fatty liver was completely reversed. But more importantly, I felt completely different. I had energy all day. My brain fog disappeared. My sleep quality improved. I lost 22 pounds, but that wasn't even the point. The point was that I'd removed the silent killer from my body. I'd given my organs room to breathe. I'd reversed a disease process that was going to kill me in my 50s. My doctor told me I'd added 10 to 15 years to my life expectancy, minimum. And not just years, quality years, active, healthy, functional years. Here's what you need to understand. You can't see visceral fat. You can't pinch it. But if you have belly fat you can see, you definitely have visceral fat you can't see. And that invisible fat is the most dangerous thing in your body right now. It's increasing your risk of every major disease. It's shortening your life. And most people have no idea it's there. But the good news, the incredible good news, is that it responds fast, faster than any other fat. Do the protocol for 12 weeks and you can reduce it by 50% or more. Cut the carbs, do intermittent fasting, HIIT 3 times a week, walk daily, lift twice a week, manage your stress. This isn't about looking good. This is about surviving. This is about being there for your kids, your grandkids. This is about living to 80 instead of dying at 55. Your visceral fat is trying to kill you right now, today, but you have the power to stop it. Start today, not tomorrow, today.